Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games. Today we're going to do a review of Disney's A Goofy Movie Game. This is done by Prospero Hall and Funko Games. It is, Prospero Hall has generally made IP licensed games kind of their mainstay, and coming off the heels of a couple of Disney games that I've reviewed before, most recently being the Big Thunder Mountain, we decided to give this sucker a look. So let's look inside. Okay, let's take a look at what comes in Disney's A Goofy Movie Game. You have the board. This is where all of the action takes place. You can see the little routes that you will be taking as characters of the game. Um, and then, of course, Powerline will be making its way up to its final show in Los Angeles. You get a selection of cards. These are scrapbook cards. These are both things you will collect, and how you collect them will determine how many points you wind up making. We'll just set that out to get going. Every player gets a set of their own custom cards based on the character that they've chosen. And then you will draw a hand of 4 cards. These will be face up to you as you play for the purposes of the gameplay. They will be face down for now. But yeah, and then a quick reference card, and then you get this really chunky, meaty die, which I like. It reminds me of Dinosaur Island in quite a bit. No relation there. And that's it. That's everything that comes in the box. So let's just get rolling on how you play this game. So in usual Funko funky fashion, everyone starts off with this the handy dandy player card and says they reveal a card. Now you're going to look and go, why? What is the object? The object of the game is to score the most points. That's how you win, because the object of the game, in all its essence, is to win. You win by having your characters try and get as far as or as close as they can to that concert in Los Angeles. In which case, the faster you get there, the better the seat you have. Kind of put this as the bet anyway. And the more points you're going to score, you're also going to score points along the way, again, for how you collect cards. Different cards, cactus cards, always give you a point, but always act as a tiebreaker. You have other things, other characters as well. The fishing poles, where you score in pairs and get points. You've got cameras. If you collect camera cards, then you're going to score 2 points if you have more camera cards than anyone else, or else you're going to score 1. Microphone cards, you get the most of those, you get 5 points, everyone else gets 3. You also have an option to use these secret things, which will tell you that you're going to get 2 points per car. You won't know those, only your opponents won't know those, only you will know those. So enough dilly-dallying, let us go. We've got our scrapbook set, everyone's going. We're going to say 1, and again, I'm not doing this to show you my brilliance at how to play the Goofy game. I don't think any trophy will be earned today in that regard. Okay, everyone plays a card, and then they reveal their cards, and then you follow the rules of the game. Look at that. This is an interesting situation. Okay, so then you collect scrapbook cards based on whoever has the highest number in that card. So these two are out of luck. This young lady will get this card that matches up, called Almost There. It's a cactus card. Apparently she wanted it. It's going to earn a point at the end of the game, and also act as tiebreaker. That's great. Okay. And then you always refill. That's the thing. You're always refilling. As soon as you take a card, you refill it, because there's going to be other phases where grabbing cards is essential. All right. Collect the highest number of each color. 7. Well, nobody else picked that one, so our dear friend here is going to get that 7 card. All right. And then we do something different. Then you refill all the cards, and you go backwards from lowest to highest. Everyone's going to move. You can move up to 1 or 2 spaces. So obviously, we're going to start here with this fine lad, and he's going to move 1 or 2 spaces. So let's have him. Now they can start off on any of these trails here or tracks. You can also go in any direction, so you don't necessarily have to head to Los Angeles right away if you feel like you've got a strategy to help you go elsewhere. You can also jump over other players. So in this case, we're going to go here and then here. Why? Because we're going to roll this dice. Oh, look at that. That means we've just moved Powerline one step closer to the concert. All right, and that's that. Then we're going to have this fine gentleman go, and he's going to go this way instead. He's going to go here, and then he's going to go here, and he's going to get this red card. Yeah, so he gets the red card. Again, we refill it. Okay. And then we'll have number 7 goes next. We'll go 1 and okay, so 1 and because you can jump over other people, you can jump and go here and get the red card. Look at that. How cool is that? We have our dear friend here. She got her first card from the scrapbook, so she's going to go last in moving order. And she is going to... Wait a minute. Did I move them wrong? I moved them wrong. There. Now she's not moved wrong. It's a simple game, I swear. Okay, so then finally we move our dear friend here, and she's going to move 2 as well. She doesn't have to, but 1, 2, there. All right, she gets the blue card. Pit stop. All right, so she's set there, and we are good to go. And that's the end of the turn. Everyone discards their cards into their discard pile, and then we can get rolling on the next round. And everyone draws a card up. Again, you will know the cards. So I'm just doing this randomly, but there you go. And that's the essence of play. We'll refill this. Now, what is the Goofy for? Well, this, if you land on Goofy, you can immediately take the card that the Goofy character is on. So that's one thing of rolling the dice. It's an opportunity to grab a card if you really need one, kind of a wild card. Yup. And yeah, and that's it. And then you move it. You just keep moving. And that's it. So we're going to go flash forward to getting close to the end of the game. Okay, let's just imagine, if you will, that we've gotten close to the end of the game. Everyone's done their turns. They keep going, blah, blah, blah. So what would happen is we notice that this character here has already made it first to Los Angeles in preparation for Powerline, getting all the way to the concert. Everyone else is pretty close. We also notice that our friend here has been able to grab a secret tile. And this tile says 2 extra points for every microphone card, so that's a handy little bonus that no one knows about. And in the end, once Powerline gets to Los Angeles, well, then everyone gets one more turn to actually try and get there and get their special spot. And then, doesn't quite make it, and then you count the points. You basically add these points, you add the points from your cards in your collections, and whoever has the most points wins. Again, whoever has the most cacti cards is going to win any tiebreakers in the case of a tie. And that's it. That's really the essence of a Goofy movie game. Let's get into my final thoughts on this title. Okay, final thoughts on a Goofy movie. Cons, pros, and then final thoughts as always. As far as the cons go, there's nothing substantially wrong with this game. It has a particular audience that will like it. Beyond that, I don't see that it has a tremendous widespread appeal. If you liked a Goofy movie, which I did, I didn't think I would, but I actually found that it was a lot more... it had some sentiment. It even almost provoked what was that thing? Oh, that's right. Emotion within me when I watched it. It's actually a really good flick from long ago. If you were a big fan of the movie, you're probably going to find this to be right up your alley, if nothing else than the nostalgia factor. And beyond that, even for Prospero Hall's general, casual to medium weight audiences, this is pretty light. It's a Small World light. That review's coming. But it is light enough that I wouldn't recommend it beyond just something to say, hey, you know what, we got 20 minutes. You guys remember the Goofy movie? Oh, I remember that. Yup, yup. Then let's go with that. Let's go with that. But let's go with the cons, the pros. The pros are it's a nice lightweight game. There's at least some cleverness there. It's not like, hey, you roll a dice, you move, you do what the card says. We're not at that level. You do have some thought. The set collection aspect is a really nice on ramp to set collection games in general. The fact that you're kind of, you do have an opportunity to kind of take a risk reward, a light risk reward. I'm going to try and play this card because I really want that card because that's going to complete a set of, say, 3 automobiles, or it looks like I might need a tiebreaker, etc. You'll get some light strategy, but you're also just going to be thrown to the whims of the board too as you're traveling back and forth. That there is a little cleverness. You don't have to just go always forward. It's not like chess or checkers. You can't go backwards. You can weave around and go in the circuitous, goofy like route to do it. Always being mindful that there is kind of a nice big jackpot. If you happen to get the best concert seats, you're going to get a lot of points, etc. Basically, it's like a light seasoning of all kinds of set collection movement kind of stuff. Where Pan Am is a game they did that was like way up on their complexity scale. A Goofy movie is almost like, like a goofy version of Pan Am. Not really, but it's still clever enough. There's not a whole lot else to say about it. It's not meant to be a deep game. It's not meant to have many facets of gameplay. But for what it does, what it sets out for to do, which is to be a light-hearted romp through the world of a Goofy's movie for those who remember it, or a light-hearted fun game for those who don't, this achieves its goals. It's basically a 7 out of 10 game. Glad I bought it. It's probably not going to be around. It looks like it was a limited print run, so if you do find this to be something you're like, Goofy, I love Goofy, then let's go for it. Otherwise, give her pass. You won't necessarily hate it. You won't necessarily like it. 7 out of 10, rock on. Alright, thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Harebrained Games.